So, welcome back to the channel, and we're here today to show you how to basically get a smooth edge on some MDF. Now, you may be using MDF for the first time, or you've been using it for a while, but usually when you paint the edge of an MDF panel or whatever you've been doing, it will fur up like you don't know what, and you keep sanding it and it still keeps furring up, and this is because it absorbs the paint. Now, I don't recommend using oil-based paints on MDF because they are totally rubbish. They will not work with MDF very well. Now, I'm going to show you what I've been doing today and how I've prepared the edges for a nice smooth edge. I'm using some sandpaper, obviously. This is 150 grit. This is surprise. I've not seen 150 grit. I'd normally use a 120, but this is a lot finer and does a great job of getting the edges nice and smooth. So I'm going to flip the camera around now and show you what I've been doing. There we go. So zoom out a little bit. So I've been doing this boiler cupboard. As you can see, all this is MDF. So this is all boxing in down the side of the window, and I've just been prepping the door ready. I'm probably going to spray this, but this is the edge of the MDF, and as you can already see, it is relatively smooth. Now, the light's not that great because we've got the light shining in. There we go. Now, this has just had one sand. So what I've done is I've routed the edge. So this is the scrap piece here. I've routed the edge. You can see that that is square. You should be able to see that's round there. So I've routed that with a round bit, and then all I did was take the sandpaper and knock off any rough edges with the sandpaper and give it a nice smooth curve, sanding the edges so that it smooths it all off. Then I took some water-based emulsion here. So this is what I've been using for a mist coat. So there's a little bit in the bottom there, and I went round all the edges with that emulsion to start with. Let it dry, and then I've hit it with some quick dry gloss. Now you can water it down slightly, quick dry gloss, and started painting the edges. Now we need to let this dry completely, but all you're doing is brushing the painting so that it absorbs into the fibres of the MDF. You can see on this rough piece here, you should be able to see those, how they will start absorbing all the water-based paint. Now you notice the surface on MDF is always very smooth. It's because it's been sanded quite a bit, and obviously the fibres are running a different way because it's all on the edge here. So that will soak up that paint quite well. But you do need to let it dry, because what we'll do next is give it another sand. So I'll show you that once it's dried. So I'll leave it here for now, and I'll come back to it. So it has now dried a bit, this section. So I'm just going to do this section so you can see what I'm doing. And I've mixed up some filler here. So now I'm just using 2-Pret quick dry filler, and I just place a bit on my finger there. Just shake a bit off there. Now this isn't very stiff at all, so it's kind of just enough so you can spread it on the sides of the MDF here. So what has happened here is the paint that I applied earlier, the emulsion and the quick dry gloss, has sealed the edges. So this will stop this water-based filler from expanding the MDF, and what this will do, it will fill all the little holes in that have been caused by placing on the water-based quick dry gloss. So we just spread it on the edges, and we're going to do this all the way around. I'm not going to show you that because I'm going to carry on with this because I'm holding the camera at the same time. These videos are done on the job, so just bear that in mind, that this isn't a professional Hollywood production or any other film studio. But there you see, I'm just running that in with my finger, getting a nice smooth result already. And then what we'll do is wait for this to dry and then sand it all completely off, and then it will have a couple of coats of the quick dry gloss again, and it should be fine then. As you can see here, I've done the same on these edges as well. Now these have not been painted first, these are just having the filler rubbed straight in. But if you do it this way, just make sure you get it nice and smooth when you're doing it on. It's probably best to paint it first, sand in between the coats, and then apply the filler. If you go back to the beginning of this video, the steps I showed you, just painting the edges like I said with some water-based quick dry gloss, and then applying this filler all the way around will help you get nice smooth edges on your MDF. So we'll get back to this again. Now I need to do all the other edges and let it dry, so this will be done tomorrow now. So we've got the door all filled up yesterday, come back this morning, so we've got loads of other bits and pieces to do. So I've just painted the ceiling here, but this is the boiler cupboard that I made yesterday as well. So all we're going to do is sand the edges, and I'm just demonstrating on this one edge because you know what I'm talking about, you've got to do them all. So all the edges have been filled in around the doors on this. All we're doing is getting rid of any excess filler now and smoothing it off, making sure we get a nice round edge. Don't forget to do the back edge there. Make sure you get any lumps off. There you can see that how much filler comes back off when you do this. You can already start noticing that the edge here is extremely smooth now. So when we get some paint on this, because we'll be painting this when I've done this, but I'm going to finish this now because I'm holding the camera while I'm trying to do this. So I'm going to finish this and come back to you in a minute. Lightly sanded, and now we're just going to give it a coat of paint. I'm going to use one of these mini rollers. They are the fine piled 4-inch 100mm. They're called mini varnish ones, so these give you a nice finish to the surface, especially on MDF. If you brush it, you end up with brush lines in it, and we don't really want that. I want it to look nice and smooth, so I'm going to do that now. I'm going to get the quick dry Dulux out, which is here, and I'm going to paint the edges again. So I'll just show you. So I just take a brush and just get your brush into, just start covering over what you've just sanded. Now you can already see, like I said, that this is super smooth. But like I said, you're using water-based paints, so this is going to ultimately soak in again. Now I'm leaving the door shut simply because I am holding the camera and trying to demonstrate this. But there you go. You're getting this nice smooth edge of your MDF by doing it this way. So I'll just run through the process again with you. I routed the edges. You don't have to router the edges, but this gives you a nice rounded edge to finish off the board. I then painted it with some rather cheap emulsion to give it some undercoat. I then went over it with some of this fast drying acrylic based, water based gloss. I then sanded it. Now you could probably sand it between coats, but I wanted to build up some paint into these fibres on the edges so that it would solidify the fibres before I sanded it, and then I have filled them in with just some normal interior filler. Doesn't matter what you use as long as it sets nice and hard and can be sanded off. So obviously this is a bit of a process you've got to go through before you get to the stage where the job's finished, but it's well worth it to get the results that you need on MDF. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to finish this door off, put the camera down, get these edges finished off, and then show you the finished result. So I'll be back in a minute to talk you through it all again. So there you go, there's the cupboard. Now you've probably noticed that it has changed colour. Why? Because the customer wanted it the same colour as the walls here. So this is a Dulux Easy Care bathroom paint. Because I've done all that preparation to it beforehand, it's just adhered to it straight away, and I've got a really nice finish to it and texture. It's really nice and smooth, and here you are with the edges. So there you can see the boiler hiding away in a thing, and there you can see the edges of the paintwork, and they are smooth, and it just matches the front and the lines of the front. If you've ever struggled with MDF before, that is how you would get the edges nice and smooth for painting. Doesn't matter what you paint it with, as long as it's not an oil-based gloss or anything like that, because that tends to be probably the worst kind of paint you can put on MDF. But once you've done all your preparation and everything, you can paint MDF with anything after. Like I say, this is an Easy Care durable paint by Dulux, and it gives a really nice finish to the MDF there, and as you can see the rest of this room. So just so you know, this is a basement and we are doing a bathroom conversion in this basement. So the shower tray there with a load of stuff piled on it, and here's the wood flooring ready to go down. The tiling's done, just needs grouting, but we're waiting for fixtures and fittings to come. Toilet, basin obviously, and then this job's nearly done and dusted. Need to make some holes bigger for those, because those are different types of lights there than these ones here. These ones fit, these ones don't fit, but they're going directly in the shower area, so they needed to be a bit different. But there you go guys, that is how you paint the MDF and get a nice finish on it, and it makes it look more like a door rather than a piece of MDF. MDF is smooth on the front, like I've said earlier in this video. It's just the edges that fur up, and it gives you that really nasty texture and sharp edges as well. But it's a process you have to go through to get the edges smooth. So there you go. So I hope you got something out of this video today. Don't forget to smash the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in another video very soon. Thanks for watching.